Nasa Law Firm, where I work with online business owners to help them establish a solid legal foundation for business. What does that mean? That means making sure your business is protected, but also making sure that you are able to leverage the legal aspects of your business to make more money. So today I want to touch on partnerships. Partnerships are getting, even hotter and hotter as time goes on. It's a great way to work with another business to grow your own, right? You get in front of their audience without having to do additional work around marketing, new potential customers. You get to borrow someone's expertise and trust and goodwill, right? It's usually a win-win situation. And the point is ultimately to make more money, right? That is why we are in business. Yes, we have purposes related to myself, children and family and time, freedom, flexibility, etc. And all of that requires us to make money so that we can engage and frolic in those things. So we have to make money from these partnerships. And that means that if we're not facilitating our partnerships a certain way, we could potentially be leaving money on the table, right? And not maximizing the full potential from each of these partnerships that we engage in. So let's go over three things or three ways that we may be leaving money on the table. If y'all ready, go ahead and comment ready. If you're watching with me live, what's up, Austin? How you doing on Instagram? Hey, everybody on Facebook and LinkedIn, go ahead and comment live. If you're catching the replay, comment replay. And any questions you have, feel free to drop them in the chat or in the comments. I will let y'all know right now. I am hosting a trademarks masterclass on February 21st. So if you're curious about trademarks, if you know a little bit, but you're thinking about filing a trademark for your business and don't know if it's the right thing to do, register so you can get all of the trademark basics for your business. February 21st, 3 p.m. West Coast time, $97. Catch it live or catch the recording. Okay. Three ways that you might be / probably are leaving money on the table in your business partnership. The first one is not having a partnership agreement with the person or people that you are working with. When we're talking about having a solid legal foundation for business, this partnership agreement is your foundation for you working with these other people or this other person, right? It dictates what you do, what you're responsible for, how you do it, most importantly, how you get paid. It also dictates, how you use any intellectual property that you've created together, right? Anything that you've put together, anything you're about to sell, how you share and split money, etc., right? This is your go-to. This document governs your relationship, and not having one may be causing you to leave money on the table, because if you get into any confusions or disagreements and disputes, sometimes business partnerships go smoothly and sometimes they do not, right? Contract or otherwise. So if you don't have one, or if you had one, or if you have one and it's not thorough, it hasn't been something that, you've taken the time to really get into and draft for both of your benefit, then you could risk getting into an issue, not being able to resolve it, not knowing how to split funds, God forbid, having to go to mediation or get dragged through litigation, which is also very expensive, not just for the pockets, but for time and energy and the state of your business, right? That's not something fun that you want to engage in. So making sure that, number one, you have a partnership contract that is tight, that both of you agree on, and that both of you can easily make money from, right? Number one, partnership agreement. Make sure you protect yourself, both you and your partner. Number two is not protecting your intellectual property. And the idea behind this is like when you protect something, you value it, right? You recognize the value behind it. And so when you don't protect your intellectual property, you may not know the value, right? And you're just letting it be out there to be used however you think it's okay, right? However you want to use in this partnership, whether it's your intellectual property or whatever you created is the entirety of your partnership, right? They're using your stuff, they're using your expertise, they're using your courses, worksheets, ebooks, strategy, right? Your signature framework, whatever that is, if you're just letting it be out there being used, although you have your permission, but not in a way that is protected, you're not really seeing the value behind it. Therefore, you cannot leverage the value, right? Give you a quick example. So I have a son, as y'all know, he's the cutest thing in the world. Hey, Cindy, hey, everybody on Instagram. And so, when he goes to school with his little toys and whatnot, like if he is out here, he has his favorite toy and he's just letting all the kids play with it, it may not be of too much value. Like everybody can have it, everybody can play with it. It might get broken, somebody might scratch it up, might have to buy my baby a new one, right? He's just letting whatever happen to it. On the flip side, if I tell him, I'm like, Arinze, only take your toy out during recess or like playtime or whatever, and he follows suits. He puts boundaries around it. He doesn't let people play with his toy. He protects his toy so that it comes home and it's not scratched up, it's not dirty, right? He is protecting his toy because it is valuable to him, right? And then maybe it's snack time and he wants to leverage his toy and let somebody play with it for 15 minutes so he can, get some additional snacks from them, right? Do a little trade, or he can get some extra swing time, or, cut in line on the slide or whatever that is, right? But he's protecting it. So there's value there. And now he can leverage it to get something that he wants. Are y'all following me? Are y'all following what Arinze is going to be doing in school when I send him off with his little toys that everybody's going to love, right? That's the idea. Is like when you protect something, there's value in it because it's not just available, right, freely to everyone. They can't just use it however they want. That protection, those boundaries are what make it valuable. So when you're in a partnership and you're not protecting your intellectual property, there is minimal value there because you don't recognize the value and therefore cannot leverage it to make money, right? Money being left on the table. That is way number two. And way number three is using your intellectual property and not charging for it. So I alluded to this just a moment ago when I was saying, like, you might be using your courses or your worksheets or your signature framework or whatever intellectual property that is yours that you are contributing to the partnership. If you are contributing it for free, you're simply leaving money on the table. And yes, not everything has to be charged. You don't have to pay. Maybe you're getting paid in a different way. However, you want to realize what compensation you're getting, whether it is actual money, cash, dollar bills, or it's opportunities, or right, or leverage, or some type of other investment. But using your intellectual property and not making sure that you get some type of compensation or value from it means that you are leaving money on the table. And I will break down that. Number one, you first have to know what your intellectual property is. I think there's a lot of talk on, hey, y'all over there, how y'all doing? I think there's a lot of talk on the online business streets just about intellectual property and brand protection and trademark this or protect that. But people are trying to follow suit without actually understanding, like, what is my intellectual property, right? Like, what am I using in my business as intellectual property? Do I even have any intellectual property to protect? How do I protect it? Why am I going to protect it in the first place, right? What benefit is that to me, or what are the drawbacks if I don't protect it, right? So first and foremost, you have to even know what your intellectual property is in your business. And then number two, you have to put mechanisms in place to protect it. So just like I was saying, boundaries create value. So once you have those boundaries and you realize the value, you can go ahead and charge for that intellectual property, so that you don't just willingly give it out when you can be making money or getting some type of value or compensation from using it, because that's ultimately your expertise that you are packaging for someone else to use, right? So those, hello, I almost said two. So those are the three things or the three ways that you may be leaving money on the table. To recap, one, not having a partnership agreement, which could potentially put you and your partner at risk and just have both of y'all losing money in so many different ways. Number two is not protecting your intellectual property. Because when you don't protect it, like there is minimal value to it, right? We need boundaries in order to leverage the exclusivity and just the pristine nature of our intellectual property and make money. And then number three is using your intellectual property, but not charging for it, right? So the value being there, but you not charging for it in your contracts or getting whatever other compensation or value may be available in exchange for you using your intellectual property. Questions, happy to answer questions. I'll look through the comments over here and the chat on Instagram. Again, register for the Trademarks Masterclass. It is February 21st at 3 p.m. West Coast time. You can register live or catch the recording, and it is $97 for you to get the basics when it comes to trademarks and having trademarks in your business for 2023. I will drop the link in the comments and link in bio on Instagram. Hey, everybody who joined. What's up? Hey, Danielle. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Fancy. Hey, Revive Life Coach. Let me know in the comments when y'all get a chance if this was helpful. I've invested in a business. Now the contract is not that clear. And when I bring in my understanding, how do I even value or monetize my expertise or ideas? Ooh, how do you even value or monetize your expertise or ideas? So first of all, Cindy, I would tell you, send me a DM so we can talk one-on-one and figure out, what's going on with your situation specifically. But the idea of valuing and monetizing your expertise and ideas, that's something I'm going to be talking about further, so y'all definitely stay tuned. But that first part again is protection, protection, protection. So knowing, number one, what is that idea, what is the value, whatever that is that you are contributing in a partnership or some other business dealing, right? What is that? That has to be identified first. And then number two, what value is being provided from that? How is that being used, right? And from there, just depending on the circumstances and the situation that you are in, right? Every partnership and business dealing is different. The value could be different, right? And the methods from which you can monetize that value you're providing are different. So Cindy, let's definitely talk one-on-one. But everyone else, again, it starts with protection, identifying your intellectual property, and then protecting it. So register for the Trademarks Masterclass and tune in for my next live, where I will also will again be talking about having a solid legal foundation of your business, for your business, excuse me, and what that means, right? Number one, protecting your business. And then number two, leveraging the legal aspects of your business so you can stop leaving money on the table and make more money. All right, happy to, hello, what day is it?